So in this video, it will be brawlers. Well, only four that I can really think of. Four brawlers that are good against the Wasabi powers if you don't have any Wasabi powers. Are they the best against the Wasabi powers? No. Are they usable against them? Yes. They're good enough or strong enough in their current state where they can go against Wasabi powers. My first brawler, well, I only did like two. I only used two brawlers for this video, for gameplay wise. But my first brawler I want to show is Chester. Chester himself, he can win against a 1v1 against a good amount of brawlers that have Wasabi powers. Surge, close range. It depends against Surge, but Surge can be destroyed by Chester. Kanji as well. Kanji can be wiped off the map by Chester. Mortis as well. Brawlers that go or have to go close range against Chester will make Chester have his super as well. Just like Hank, Primo, Frank. Chester won't do damage to them, but he can slowly charge his hypercharge, and Chester is able to use his hypercharge and then throw two of them to destroy the enemies, and you're basically a guaranteed win with those two hypercharge bombs by Chester. It's like Kenji. But do I suggest Chester? No. All the brawlers that I'm saying are usable. They're somewhat good against Wasabi powers, but overall Wasabi powers are basically better a million times. What else about Chester? You will want to use what's the gadget? The candy gadget where you get reload buff, attack buff, speed buff. You will want to use that gadget, and then attack gear, defense gear, or speed gear. It depends on the map. And of course what was the first star power that lets him do a little bit more damage. You would struggle against brawlers that can really just go at Chester and don't really have that much worry, or long range brawlers like Piper. Piper would destroy Chester. Angelo as well. Primo rushes at Chester. There isn't really much Chester can do other than having the jawbreaker super, a Frank going at Chester. There isn't much Chester can do. So that is why Chester is good, because you can charge your super from them and hope that that you get the right super against the enemy brawlers with Wasabi powers. Like this one. I will show this one and then go into, or maybe one more, and then into Lumi. Oh, I will talk Lumi later because I used her and she's really good. She does good damage to Surge, Byron if you're close, but not too close. Wolves, Rico, slowing down Primo and all those other brothers, but I will talk about Lumi later. Another brother that you can use is RT. RT has very good long range damage, if you have the marker up against snipers like Piper, Angelo, Byron, RT will have a nice matchup against those brawlers long range wise. Of course, he's not going to RT is not going to survive a triple Angelo shot close range. But that is why as RT you can switch into his what's it, standby mode or the defense mode? Well, I don't know what it's called. But with RT, you can just pop your super and then any Kanji, Mortis, El Primo, Frank, if they get close to you, you can do a bunch of damage to them and then your teammates can finish them off. The problem with RT is Wasabi Powers. So brawlers like Surge, Lumi, Angelo, 8-bit, most Wasabi brawlers will have an advantage against RT because they'll have utility or speed against RT, and if you have speed you won't get much benefit out of the defense mode if they just back away from you. I'll show one more Chester. Oh, no recording. Well, and this one. As well as RT and Chester, Tick also counters them very hard. Well, you're not really able to do much if a Tick just throws his heads, all three of them, and then for Chester or RT to go up against it, they can't really do much as well. And then my last brother I want to talk about, Nanny. But sadly, there isn't long range maps that you're able to use Nanny. But if there were to be bounty, heist, or knockout, you can use Nanny and knockout, bounty, or heist because she has long range, the longest range, maybe longer than Spike, maybe, or Spike has it longer, I think. Spike has it, I think Spike's longer than Nanny, but you go against a Piper, Angelo, you should be doing well against most long range brawlers and knockout, bounty, or heist. Now for Lumi. Lumi's whole purpose is just to annoy. You just counter the tanks like Hank, El Primo, Frank. Yes, Lumi can be pressured back by them because of the speed and damage they can do. But overall, Lumi should be able to win most of the time in a 1v1 because first you slow them down with your ice gadget and with the ice star power, and then you lock them in place with your super. Most of the time it will mostly be Hank like that. You lock down Hank and then you slowly whittle down Hank with your super, and then with your main attack you get your other super again, and then you use that super again on Hank, El Primo, Frank, and it's basically a cycle with Lumi. Lumi, I would suggest, is the best brawler right now that can go against the Wasabi powers. She can also do well against Kanji, Mortis, who else? Surge, because Surge Well, it depends on Surge, but Lumi should do okay against Surge. As you can see, Lumi doesn't have that much threat to her because of her teammates. If you have good teammates, Lumi shouldn't be pressured that much, and you should be able to be on the left side of the map or on the right side of the map and slowly destroy your opponents. Who else will be trouble against Lumi? Long range brawlers like Piper, Angelo will be a threat to Lumi. She's also a good counter to Tick because you just throw your both of your balls and then bring them back and the Tick heads get destroyed. She's also good in Samurai Smash. I used her in Samurai Smash and she does really well. Look, as you can see, what is Primo supposed to do against Lumi? And then there's Hank. What is Hank supposed to do against Lumi? What is Kenji supposed to do against Lumi? Most of the time, in a 1v1, Lumi should win. And then there's only 2 maps that I suggest that you use Lumi and Chester on. For starters, double swoosh, the gem grab map that goes like a it goes like a big grass on your side and then a big grass on the enemy side, and then the gem will be on the middle surrounded by the grass. You guys should know what map I'm talking about. Double swoosh. Double switch for Lumi. You'll want to play with her offensively and with the speed gear. With the speed gear, the health debuff really hurt Lumi. Oh, or health nerf. No, go for attack and defense for double swoosh with Lumi on that map. You'll want to go either on the left side or on the right side with Lumi. Do not play Lumi mid. Lumi is an aggressive brawler. You do not want to play with Lumi passively. And then if you go Lumi on the right, you annoy your opponents by just rushing in towards them. Of course, you have to be careful with that. Angelo, Mortis, if the Mortis rushes at you, Kenji, but that's why you have your ice gadget to scout the grass. Chester as well. You will want to use Chester mostly on the left side to play defensively. You can play, oh wait, I showed this one. You could use Chester to go on the right side as well, but I don't think Chester would do well against. No, Chester won't really do well against Wasabi Powers up front. Like Byron. Byron will most of the time win against Chester. But you could win as Chester. That's why you're usable. Somewhat good against Wasabi Powers, but not the best. Who else? You face off against a Bull. No, not Bull. Bull. You should win as Chester. You go against Hank. even Hank, you could win against Hank in that gem grab map with Chester, Lumi as well, and then also RT on that map. You could use RT. I would say offensively with RT, because if an enemy Angelo goes at you, or a Hank, Primo, you can swap into the defense mode and then just do a bunch of damage. And if you go against a long range brawler like Byron, Angelo, Piper, you can just use no, you can just stay back and use your be a-okay. But you're not always guaranteed to win. And the last map I want to tell you about is I forgot what it's called, but there's a bunch of square boxes in the middle in the Brawl map, and on that map you can also use Lumi, Chester, or RT. Lumi, I would assume you would know how to use Lumi or Chester on that map. You just play aggressively on the... Well, for Lumi, you can just go wherever you want on that map. But with Chester, you will want to go on the right side or on the left side. It'll depend against your enemy. If you're facing off against a Chester, you'll... No, not Chester, an Angelo or Byron. You'll want to be on the side with the box that helps you with cover. Or if you're going against a tank like Frank, Hank, Air Primo, you want to use or go to the side with the open range so you can do good damage and you can get your super a lot more easier. Same thing with RT with Chester. I would say this is the video. Only 4 brawlers that I can think of that are somewhat good against the Wasabi Brawlers right now. Lumi, Chester, RT, and Nanny. Also in solo showdown, I used Nanny against the Wasabi Power Brawlers. Nanny does well because of Hagar. Hagar can't really jump on Nanny. Kenji can't really jump on Nanny. Oh, I should have talked about Amber. Amber, it is a really hard counter to Chester. Against Lumi, it's like a even fight because that Amber has to go into you to do damage, and you also have to go into Amber to do damage, because Amber and Lumi have the same range. But with Lumi, you'll want to play defensively because Amber will just melt you down. Same thing with Nanny and RT. And this is the video, so like, subscribe. Goodbye.